Welcome to Kung Fu Havoc number 2. I'm your host, Echo Fan Grey Wolf. I'm going to show 4 videos from TikTok, and this is going to take 10 minutes per video, so that'll be 40 minutes long. It's probably the longest video I do tonight, which is why I'm only going to do this one video. I made a video about it the other day that I wanted to talk about a time when natives couldn't leave the reservation or they were shot on sight. So this is that video. But because I lost the information that I had, I've gone through this tablet's history. I've gone through this phone's history. A lot of OnlyFans that I'd be looking at. But other than that, there's nothing. The information is fucking gone. I've tried to Google it. I've tried everything. It's like it was magic. It was like I had it, and then it was gone. It's like Thanos got a hold of it. So we're going to watch these 4 videos. And it is going to be called Rumor Has It That. And then after it was like, there was a time when natives couldn't leave the reservation. This title is subject to change by the time this video is posted. So, let's go. Okay, TikTokers, so here's how it works. I am going to give you this video. However, before we begin this video, this is for educational purposes. I send warnings, not invitations. This will be more than likely a 2 or 3 part video, which I will repost all of this on my YouTube channel if I decide to continue. Before I do that, I had an article about this. It has magically disappeared. I have scoured the internet for the last 3 days. Alright? So, instead of having this as a factual video, which it would have been had I had the articles to share, so we are going to make this clear that this is now going to be a rumor and only a rumor. I repeat, this is a rumor and only a rumor. However, and I will say this specifically, Pretendians don't know about this shit, and if they use this, then y'all know that they have been watching me. We know this to be a rumor. If you are a Res native, or if you are a native at the turn of the century, where before natives started kind of leaving the Res to go get jobs and shit, you do know, rumorly speaking, there was a time where natives were not allowed off the Res. Alright? We know that, right? We do know that. The Pretendians don't know that, but natives do know that. Alright? Res natives specifically, and the ones that never left, they probably can confirm this rumor. Why do I keep saying it's a rumor? Because I lost the fucking article that I had, and I can't find it. But we're going to talk about this rumor. Alright? This is a very sensitive topic, and one part of the rumor will possibly be true. The other part of the rumor will be a rumor with some truths into it. There's a reason why I'm saying it this way, because we do know that the Pretendians are always watching. So, the first rumor, we're going to wipe this out, because there is some skeletons of truth in it. Native Americans did not invent scalping. Make sure y'all understand that. American Indians, Native Americans, people who lived on the reservations, people who were here before 1492 that had nothing to do with black people and before they ever saw a European, those people, they did not invent scalping. Alright, they did not scalp each other. They did not scalp anybody else. Period. Scalping is something invented by some non-native people, but Hollywood has turned scalping into a Native American thing that is complete and total BS. So that part is the truth. Hollywood turned native scalping into a native thing. Natives did not do any scalping. Natives did not scalp people. That wasn't their thing. Anyone who tells you that a native was scalping people, then it would have more than likely been a story, or it would have been a justifiable scalping because somebody probably did that to some person who was native. Now, I'm going to explain that before we go on. The reason why natives wouldn't be scalping each other is because non-native people were getting paid to take this off of a native's head. You were worth $5 to $60 if you were native and someone decided that they wanted to scalp you. Natives weren't doing this to their own people. Alright? Money and greed may be a thing, but most natives were not doing this shit to their own people. So, therefore, natives did not invent scalping. I'm going to get some pushback, and if you decide to push back, let me repeat my intro. This is for educational purposes. I send warnings, not invitations. And I'm real good with a hatchet. And a bow and arrow. Anyway, leaving that be, the second rumor. And this is the main topic. Damn it, I missed mosquito. This is the main topic, and the reason again why I'm going to say that it is a rumor instead of factual is because I lost the goddamn document. And I'm too stupid to retrieve the damn thing. We're going to talk about this SOS. Alright? For those who do not understand what that means, the nautical term is save our soul. Save our ship. It's a Navy term. The whole reason I came outside was to avoid that. Anyhow, we will continue. If you're in the Navy, you do understand that save our ship is what SOS means. If you are of the residential area of reservations, SOS meant something else many bloody years ago.
Sorry for the lean, y'all.
So, let me explain the term SOS before I give you the rumor. I'll spell it for you because the guys at TikTok are extremely intelligent. And I can't use these words because they promote violence, sort of. SHOOT. Damn, missed it again. Damn. You're a fast fucker, aren't you? Yeah, land on me so I can kill you. Yeah, that's a different one, and I still missed it. Anyway, SHOOT, that's the first word. ON, that's the second word. SIGHT or SITE, whichever you prefer, is what SOS basically means. Now, the rumor is, it's really quite simple. And again, I lost the article, so that's why we're doing this as a rumor instead of it actually being a factual thing. However, natives, the real ones, not the pretendians, natives know whether it's a rumor or whether it's factual. Because most tribes have gone through this, rumeratively speaking. SOS orders were handed out by the U.S. government after they got tribals on reservations. If you are of that area, there was a time where you could not leave without government permission. Therefore, SOS orders were put into place. Natives had to have special permission to leave reservations once reservations was established. Now, what time period and how long that lasted is beyond my doing because I lost the goddamn article. Alright? But just understand that this is rumored to have happened. And why do I keep insisting that I use the word rumored? I lost the article. So I can't say that it's factual now because people are going to say I'm giving misinformation. Now, I will say elders in the Native community can confirm the SOS orders. Most of them are probably not even alive anymore to confirm the rumor of SOS orders from the government that natives could not leave the reservation without special permission, which means if you were sick and the medicine man's medicine couldn't heal you, and you needed the European medicine, you had to get permission, which sometimes took months to get permission, which is by then, that's one less native they had to deal with. And I'm trying to put that as politely as possible. And again, the reason why I say it's a rumor is because I lost the article, and I have searched the internet, I've scoured the internet, and I can't find the shit. The only thing that pops up when I bring up the SOS topic is Wounded Knee and the Ghost Dance being banned. And I mean the original, not the 1973 Wounded Knee that got Leonard Peltier hemmed up as a political prisoner. I mean the original Wounded Knee from way back in the day. Wounded Knee has been a raw hotspot for natives to have some issues. It's also more of a West Coast thing versus an East Coast thing. However, what I'm rumoredly speaking of is what happened mostly on the East Coast before Sacagawea took Lewis and Clark to the West Coast. So there will be a part 2, and again, this is rumoredly speaking, because I lost the goddamn article, and I can't find it. I've gone through my tablet, I've gone through my phone, I can't find the damn thing. So until I can actually get confirmation on this shit, we're just gonna say it's a rumor. Alright? So just take it as a rumor. I really wanted to actually make this video the day I was asking for the blessing. I should have just went on and made the video, because that was the day I had the goddamn fucking article in hand. But I wanted a blessing from Full Bloods before I had... Okay, TikTokers, so... Okay. This is part 2. TikTok, this is for educational purposes. I send warnings, not invitations. And, I'm pretty sure I'm fighting against ancestors now. Because I had started a video, and my camera and my phone just, completely shut down. So, this is part 2. Against all odds, this show make it. We're doing this by rumor base, because I lost the article and I cannot find it. So, this is a rumor, and this is part 2. We're going to get into the guts and glory of what part 1 was supposed to be, provided that part 1 also makes it through. This is a very sensitive topic. And these are stories the Pretendians don't have. So if they start using this, then y'all all know they took that shit off my page. Alright? I am a triracial person. I am part native. I am part black. I am part white. I do not identify as a full-blooded native. I identify as a triracial mixed person. So we are going to go with the rumors, and we're going to say this is a rumor because I lost a document that would have probably made this shit fact. Alright? So here we go. Ancestors, please let this shit roll through, because these dumbass people need to know. On my quest to shut down these damn Pretendians, especially since they don't like mixed people, it's time to fucking put an end to this once and for all. In the first video, I tell you guys the truth about scalping. I used it in a rumor form, but the truth of the matter is, Native Americans did not invent scalping. American Indians and Native Americans are one and the same. They are not the black people which part of my lineage comes from. They are not the white people which part of my lineage come from. They are the natives to this land and which part of my lineage comes from. As a triracial person who has been through a lot of racial disparity as a young man from kindergarten to college and into my adult life, I'm 50 years old. I've got nothing to lose other than maybe dishonoring the ancestors. Outside of that, this needs to be said, which is why this is being said based on rumor versus based on fact. Although the scalping thing is definitely based on fact. Native Americans did not start scalping. A lot of people don't want to believe that, but the fact of the matter is Native Americans were not scalping their own people and selling it to Europeans to make money. They'd never got out of there without being scalped themselves. Reality has to kick in at some point. Now, let's talk about the SOS orders. The SOS orders means, boom, boom, by seeing someone who looks remotely closer to me than the Pretendians. Alright? Now, there was a time where natives could not freely just leave the reservation. That is why they had patrol. That is why there was SOS orders, and that is why I am saying this as a rumor, because I lost the goddamn article, which could have made this shit factual. So we're speaking on rumoritic terms. I made that word up. But rumorlistically, I made that up too. I can't no longer provide you with evidence of this happening outside of elders. If you guys know an elder who's damn near 100 years old, they can probably confirm if this shit was a thing. However, I can't speak for any tribes out west. I can only speak for tribes on the east because they were the first ones to make contact with Europeans, and more than likely, besides the Trail of Tears, they were the first ones to be engaged on reservations. Now, I can be wrong there. I don't have a problem being wrong there, but I will tell you this. There is a rumor of natives not being able to leave the reservation and being unalived or wounded severely for attempting to leave the reservation because the government subsidies of food, water, and provisions did not really include a lot of Western-style medicine. So if the medicine man or the shaman could not cure you and you needed to get European help, you had to get permission to get transported from the reservation to a medical facility that would ensure your survival. 9 times out of 10, that medical leave was rarely given. Alright? Rarely given. So when people tell you things about things that happened in the reservations many, many years ago, it would behoove you to not take it with a grain of salt, but to actually pay attention. Because what the pretendians are coming at you with these fantastic tales, and they think that living on a reservation was like high and mighty, and they're worried about the present, where you can get casinos and things to help you get money with little to no taxes, which they also don't understand that Native Americans do pay taxes, just like every fucking body else, but they don't want to hear that shit. They want to live in their dragon riding world where they're riding dinosaurs and griffins. But natives do pay taxes, and there were SOS orders rumored to be in place, which means if you came off the res without permission, regardless of what you needed without permission, on site. You know, SOS. SHOOTONSITE or SIGHT, whichever one means you're using your eyesight to see this person who's not supposed to be off of the forced entrapment camp that natives were forced to stay on. Now, it was a while before natives actually could leave the reservation. Now, if you had special permission to leave, I don't want to go into the politics of that, but 9 times out of 10, not that many natives had that much favor with the U.S. government that they could really leave the reservation. Your food supply, government issue. The ration out to how many people were in the tribe on the res at the time. That shit we can definitely state to factual shit. As for the SOS part, we're going to have to continue to say that is a rumor because I lost the article and I can't find it. I've Googled, I've searched, I've busted my rump, and I can't find it anymore. So I will say this though, as a rumor, it is a horrible thing to actually think about. Well, these pretendians are talking about, well, y'all lived in teepees when we lived in houses. No, because if you were native, you damn sure didn't live in a house. Not back then. And if you were stuck on the res, you were stuck on the res, and there were SOS orders, and they had patrols that literally looked for natives who were not supposed to be off the res. And time again, rumoredly speaking, they were unalived by some of these patrols. Or they were severely injured or beaten and dragged back to this establishment known as a reservation. Now remember, I'm specifically speaking rumortively because I lost the goddamn article. Now I'm pretty sure other family members that are native have stories that are similar to this, which again, most of these stories have been passed down by elders, which means you know if the elder probably said it, it more than likely happened when the elder was a young person witnessing this shit. Y'all do know firearms have been around for a long fucking time. the means of using firearms and other tools is how things like this have happened. Now, rumorly speaking, I cannot confirm or deny now. Damn, still missed that motherfucker. I think I hurt my hand. Anyway, I cannot confirm or deny without the article of what's factual and what's not factual outside of the fact that scalping factually was not started by Native Americans. Just to get that out of the way. There will be a part 3, and I will wrap it up with part 3. And if I choose to make this into a YouTube channel, I will put it on my YouTube channel and I'll let you guys know. But I want to make sure that I say this specifically. This is for educational purposes, and that I'm speaking based on rumor now, because I lost the article that more than likely would have made it fact. Because if I had the article, I could just read the damn thing to you to let you know when the stuff was happening and stuff. You're good, man. You're not in my visual. You know, and the thing is that
It was a kid.
as I say in folklore, I'll also say in mythology, every myth and folklore has a little hint of truth to it. Whether you choose to believe it or not, that's on you. But I'm going to wrap it up in part 3 just due to the fact that I don't have the article. And without the article, I can't make it a fact. But we can make it a rumor, so we're going to go. Okay. This is part 3. And without giving too much away, again, this is for educational purposes. I send warnings, not invitations. And I want to make sure that everything is perfectly clear. I'm doing this on rumor-based now. Again, I lost the article that could have made this factual. And the only factual thing that I have stated in video 1 and video 2 is that Native Americans never started the scalping thing. If any Native Americans were scalping anyone else, it was more than likely they were seeking justice for an injustice done to Native Americans, because if you've ever watched a Western in your lifetime, they've never gave you the Native American perspective. There's only been one Western TV series that I've ever watched that gave you the Native American perspective, and that was called Into the West. Good luck at finding it. Also Smoke Signals, but that wasn't a drama. That was a great movie, but not a drama. So let us begin, because things I've touched on in video 1 and video 2 about natives being forcefully unalived or SOS'd if they left the reservation. It is rumored, and I'm saying it as a rumor versus as it being a fact, because stories were passed down, and rumors are stories. They can be passed down. Like if I tell you this girl over here had on a purple dress, there's no girl over there. That is a purple thing right there for that damn tent that's still sticking up. But there's no girl right there. Now, what if I tell you there was a girl there that was wearing a blue dress, but there's no girl there? There's a blue bucket with the girl with the purple dress. See how rumors start? I noticed the blue bucket and the purple thing, which you would notice that, and if I said there was a girl wearing a blue dress or a purple dress, you might go subliminally see a girl there, but there really is no girl there. In reality, I'm at the basement porch. Anyway, the rumor of natives being SOS may be closer to truth, or not. Again, I lost the article. And the only other reason why I'm telling you this story is because Britannians don't have these stories. They don't have their elders popping up and telling you that this was a thing. Alright? Elder natives, if they're still alive and they've reached the ripe old age of a 90-year-old or a 100-year-old or even an 88-year-old, will have these stories. And the reason why I say they will have these stories is because, remember I tell you, my great-grandmother gave me folk stories, among other things. So we're not going to say that one of these is one of those stories, but we are going to say I set her lap in the summertime until 1983 when she passed. I only missed one summer, and that was when I was 7. But up until she passed, I was at her knees every summer. Even when her knees were not her biological knees. Alright? So, again, these pretendians think that the reservations was Whodaddy and popcorn. You know, and they're going to get all this money and they're going to have casinos. And what they fail to understand, one, natives still pay taxes even with those casinos. They just don't pay as much taxes as everyone else. Two, the money that the casinos are made are supposed to be triaged back to the people. That doesn't always work out the way it's supposed to because greed is unavoidable no matter what your fucking racial diaspora is or your gender. Everybody can be greedy. No, but we're going to get back to the serious part about natives being SOS'd if they left the fucking reservation. You may not understand why was this a thing. Alright. When laws and stuff started being engaged, when people actually started writing down laws and having morals and shit like that, they still believed natives to be savages. They still believed that natives had no place in the world, and that if you eliminate the native, that's just one less person taking up their fucking air. I'm trying to say that as politely as possible because I don't want to trigger any people, but I will tell you triggerly warning specifically that if you know any elders, they probably know if this is a rumor or if this is true. Alright? And if any elders way past the age of fucking 80, they can probably tell you, yeah, there was a time where we were SOS or unalived if we left the fucking reservation. If you know an elder who's made it past 100, they damn sure should be able to tell you, because it wasn't that fucking long ago in their lifetime that this shit would have been something that they had discussed. It's kind of like be at home by a certain time or catch a belt. It's kind of like that. Be back on the res by a certain time or catch a bullet or a musket or whatever they were using at the time. You do also know that natives could not chase their food beyond a certain point. If you were hunting deer and your deer somehow managed to get off reservation boundaries, it was no longer your deer. Alright? Now, I know you're all thinking, what the hell does that mean? It means if you left the reservation and you came across some European dudes who claimed your deer, that was their deer. You carry your ass back home, or you will magically disappear. And you may not have your scalp at the same damn time. Now, the reason why I pointed that out is because of the simple fact that here's the thing. Hunting is very, very special to natives. I'm not going to tell you anything more other than that because I don't want what I was going to say used against natives. Alright? As a mixed native, I will not give up ceremony about that. I will not give up other things about that, but rumortively speaking, I will tell you this. If the rumors are true and natives were unalived for leaving the reservation because of ignorance or just greed, if you were hunting a deer per se, or maybe a beaver, and that beaver left Indian territory and wound up in European territory, that beaver was not yours anymore. If you tried to go retrieve that beaver, even if your family was hungry, there was a good chance that you might not get back to your family, which is why a lot of natives try to hunt together. You know, you can get as much as you can and try to herd them in so that they don't leave the territory. You'd have a better chance of feeding your family versus single hunter. Y'all do know that a wounded deer will travel almost 8 miles or better before that damn thing dies. And it really would depend on the size of the deer and the fear and the adrenaline and all that stuff that's tainting the meat. But you would know that a lot of deer, one deer alone wounded, will travel damn near 8 miles. It just depends. Now, once the adrenaline runs out and it pumps all the blood out, eventually it's going to drop, but you don't know where it's going to drop, which is why you are taught how to track the deer. You track the blood, you track the urine, you track the poop, etc., etc. If you're a hunter, you're probably well aware that I fucked all that up trying to say that, because everybody is taught different when it comes to tracking. However, back in the day in which I speak, if a native's prey went off their territory, if it didn't go into another native territory, but it went into a YT territory or European territory or colonizer territory, some of the colonizers wouldn't let that native get that meat, or they would unalive the native. So again, this is rumortively speaking. This is not based on fact. This is based on rumor. So take that as you will. As a rumor. I lost the article. But understand that SOS orders and patrolmen were a thing. So for you fucking pretendians that think the natives had it easy because they lived on a reservation, here's a phrase. And I want to end this video with this. You ever heard the term of being a prisoner in your own home? Because that's pretty much what the natives were on the reservation. They were prisoners in their own home. And it wasn't even a home that they chose to buy. It was a home that they were thrown into by force, not by course. And you got yay so much land that you have on this reservation that you can live on, hunt on, and hopefully thrive on. But the whole plan behind reservations was not to make the natives thrive. It was to make sure that they did not live to see another winter, summer, spring, or fall. I'm going to end the video here, and I might make the video on YouTube by posting all three. Thank you guys for watching. Remember, take it as a rumor, because that's the only way I can do this video. I did 3 videos, and I made it rumortively speaking. And the reason why I did that again is because I lost the article. So technically it'd be part 4. And this is going to be the final. But it is part 4. The reason why I wanted to go into that is because the pretendians have been utilizing a lot of stuff that they are not aware of living on reservations and shit like that. They have no fucking idea. I have never lived on a reservation, but I have been given stories from family members of why they did not live on the reservation. I will not go into that because that's none of your fucking business. But I will say that there are families who stayed and there are families who left. But the pretendians seem to I don't know the right words I'm looking for besides dishonor tribal stuff. They don't have any tribal stories. No. They continue to use fantasy, falsehoods, and things that weren't really native culture. Like dragons and griffins and shit. Alright? The closest thing to a dragon that I can possibly foresee in native folklore is the thunderbird. That's it. Because we all know that dragons fly. Now, as far as I know, and I'm pretty sure that this has changed a lot, and tribally, the thunderbird is supposed to be a spirit of vengeance. But I will say that also can change tribally. I will also say that the thunderbird is a little bit different from other guardians and deities because of tribal legends and things like that. The natives of most tribes know about the thunderbird. I don't want to give too much about the thunderbird away, being that not too long ago, approximately 2.5 weeks ago, one of the pretendians started talking about the Yeti and canoes. Alright? So if you are a native, and I have maybe possibly offended you by bringing up the thunderbird, there's a reason why I brought up the thunderbird. The pretendians of Tiamaria are always talking about mastodons, woolly mammoth, dragons, giants, griffins, Hebrew Israelites, moist Americans, Olmecs, Toltecs, and they try to steal Mayan culture as of recent. And they try to downplay the Tainos and every other tribe that Columbus stumbled into before America was truly colonized. Alright? So I brought up Thunderbird for a reason, because griffins Dragons have never been in any folklore that I've been told. Alright? We're not going to talk about the hairy man. We're not going to talk about SWs or anything else in this video. I specifically brought up the Thunderbird because as far as I know, that's the closest goddamn thing to a dragon in native folklore that I can possibly remember. If there's something else, do not tell me in a video. If you want to DM me, I will go research. But I do know of other legends, but I'm also not a Ojibwa. Okay? I'm not a Ojibwa. I know of a couple of their legends too. I'm sure that they have probably been changed down the trail before they got to the tribes in which I have lineage in. But until then, I'm never going to reveal any more folklore on this app because the Pretendians have now used ammunition with the Yeti, which they fail to understand that the Yeti is in fucking Nepal and not in America. We have a different guy. But, he's also been spotted here in Virginia quite a few times, actually, by game wardens. So, that being said, you gotta be careful on this app. If you're a full-blooded native, you know a lot more than I do. If you are a res native, you know a lot more than I do. And I only have folklore from my ancestors. I also don't like corn. I'm dreadfully afraid of horses. And I can't carve a canoe out of soap or a tree. I might be able to get one out of a tree because I actually do know how to do it now. But I wouldn't know how to treat the wood, and I wouldn't know how to make the stuff to keep the wood treated as well as make sure that it floats and stuff like that. So if you're native and you're watching this, I do apologize for how I said it. I don't apologize for what I said because I can only speak from my experience and what I know of Thunderbird and what I know. Coyote, I'm pretty sure belongs to Hopi and more West Coast tribes, but all tribes probably have shared fucking stories when they were, greeting and meeting and using sign language and communicating. However, in that little phrase that I just gave, I've given Pretendians ammo right there. But I'm not going to show any sign language. I don't know a lot of it. I know a couple of things, but I don't know a lot of it. Not enough to be native, if you would. And the thing is, a lot of Pretendians don't understand a lot of values of certain native traditions, of certain native stories, of certain natives rumored to have seen or lived through. Right off there. Because of the internet, they can find these things. Alright? And so I do plead to all natives far and wide, whether you are First Nations in Canada, from Maine to Florida to California, whether you are indigenous to Hawaii, whether you are Central American and South American, did you stop posting anything folklore or anything native on this thing? Now, I will say, with the exception of it may be your job, and if you're getting paid for it, I won't actually stop, but I will say maybe I'm going to sound like a fucking hypocrite right now. Maybe charge people. If you're not getting paid, then maybe charge people for native stuff, at least until this TikTok bullshit stops. And the reason why I say that is because there was a TikTok war before this TikTok war where people weren't Ninth Ether, but they were Pretendians. And we no longer have Lance or Modern Warrior to reallocate some of these people. And I will never be worthy of being big enough to be in his shoes. Plus, I'm old as dirt. So nothing I say. Plus, as a mixed person, I don't really hold a lot of weight in Native society, and I probably never will. Because back in the time when mixed people were needed, so that tribes could become one tribe, we're not needed like that anymore. Alright? That part's definitely a fact. But, for the most part, if we, limit Native folklore Native traditions and Native everything else online, we'll probably have a little bit less dealing with pretendians. That does not include beadwork. Please continue to put your beadwork and your artwork up. But when it comes down to folklore or building shit, like canoes and shit, don't put that shit online. Don't put that shit online. If it comes down to hunting or ceremonial stuff, which I know for the most part you can't show, don't put it online in a verbal format either. And yes, I almost fucked up about hunting ceremony a few days ago, so don't put any of that shit up. And we're gonna try to weed out these damn pretendians. If they are native by blood, then they would know how some of the ceremonies are done. I am part native, part black, and part white. I know how certain ceremonies are done, and I know how certain ceremonies are not for men and are for women only, and vice versa. They don't know that shit. They also don't know that not all tribes wore feathers or war paint, and that they can have. But the fact of the matter is that they are coming after natives. As a mixed native, I can only put out the warning that natives, it's time to stop playing with these people. It really is. I'm sorry. I'm also part black. I'm also part white. But we gotta stop this shit before it goes too far out of hand. And I'll make another video. I did 3 videos, and I made it rumortively speaking.
I won't have to worry about the rest of that. So hopefully, I tell you guys it's going to be 40 something minutes. So I'm not going to make a part 2. I'm just going to keep going, and then we're going to post this damn thing. Hopefully, I made it clear that there are things that the pretendians are doing that they've been able to get away with so much shit on TikTok and other apps too, because some of them actually are here on YouTube, and they've been getting away with it. By the way, I'm playing a video game. Well, that's not the video game. This is 2 hot chicks and upskirting. Anyway, so the whole point being made is that I had an article that was proving what I said about the U.S. government and shot on sight orders given to natives so that they could not leave the reservation without permission. I can't give you a time frame now because I lost the goddamn article. I can't give you exact dates because I lost the article. And no matter how many times I went through this damn thing and through my cell phone, I can't find it, man. I can't find it. So I do apologize to y'all for that. But this is why it's going to be called a rumor. The fact of the matter is that you had to have certain permissions to leave the reservation as a native at a certain point at a certain time. Without those permissions, you could not leave the reservation. All right, and I'm calling it a rumor again because I no longer have tangible evidence to prove it to be a fact. And you know, when you don't have tangible proof to prove the things to be a fact, they usually dub your shit misinformation, and then they tell you to go, pretty much go fuck yourself. And I don't want to have to go through that shit. But at that same time, you have to ask yourself, why would they put you on a reservation and then let you roam free? They didn't. So that's why that evidence that I needed, I really needed that article. The night that I made the blessing is the night that I should have just went on and made the video, because I Googled it and Google popped it up. It wasn't a Wikipedia, it was a site. And now that site's just fucking gone. Like the Mandela effect. Gone. Thanos got a hold of it. And so I'm sitting there and I'm like, well, damn, you know, this is kind of important. It would be nice for people to know that, you know, natives weren't allowed to leave the reservation. At a certain point in time, they just weren't allowed to leave the reservation. and it's not some made up bullshit. You know, it literally is a thing. But again, I lost the article. I'm probably never gonna find that article again because I'm like slightly stupid with technology. So there's a high probability that wherever that article is, it was the miracle that I found it, and it was the unseen miracle that I lost it. This is the game, by the way. So you won't think that I was just standing there doing nothing while y'all were watching that video. I really would love to be able to have that article. I would really love to be able to pull that shit up, and this way I can completely give you guys what you would deserve as a perfect video. The onslaught of this whole damn thing is that I don't have it, and I don't have a way of showing you what it was. I don't have a way of proving that this shit was a thing, which is why it's a pain in the ass to have to try to explain everything by means of a rumor. Now, I will say this, because I'm not going to make any more videos tonight. All rumors and myths and legends have some kernel of truth to them, but truth is also a point of view. And the scalping thing, we can definitely prove that natives did not start scalping people, and there has been at least one survivor of a scalp who was not a native. But if you're gonna get into native stuff and you're not native, it would be ill-advised to not know certain shit. People scalp natives. They scalp women, they scalp children, and they scalp men. I believe the women and children were worth the most. I'm not going to swear to it. It's a damn shame that it happened, but we can't let this shit happen anymore. And they passed a law not too long ago to prevent that shit from happening ever again. So score one, because I believe it was Joe Biden that did it. But the thing was, why was it on the books for so fucking long? This is like some straight bullshit. It should not have been on the books. But again, there's a lot of things that we don't know that's been on the books that involve natives being hurt or mangled, and no one has dared to say anything about it. No. And that's a fucking whole ass problem. So I'm going to end this video with this one piece of advice, and I hope that it finds you well. Beware of what the pretendians are pushing. Alright? Beware that the pretendians are talking to y'all about some Time America, whatever the fuck, and preaching this shit about you gotta know the dirt and that Africans were the original Native Americans. It's all bullshit. They don't have any evidence of it, and there have been a couple of people of color who are black and African, and they have been debunking the dog shit out of these people who gotta know the dirt and some more shit. And you just gotta be careful at what rabbit holes you choose to go down. This is a rabbit hole that I wish I never went down, but because I'm mixed and this shit is always up on my FYP, it puts me in a very, very uncomfortable spot on TikTok. And it's uncomfortable because it's one of them things that you kind of wish you could turn away from, but you can't. Just because it's just that tedious that you like, okay, I kind of got to see what the fuck happens next. And as horrible as that sounds, that's what it is. I kind of got to see what the fuck happens next. And these damn pretendians, man, they don't seem to understand the ramifications of the damage that they're doing. There is a video, and you guys can probably find it. I hate to have to mention this video, but I'm going to mention this video because it sucks like fuck, but I need to mention this video. There's a video of a group of young black children with attitude going around hollering that they are the original Native Americans. Alright? I don't know the name of the video. I honestly, truly, to God, don't give two fucks. But I do know that they have black kids based in, yo, we're the real Native Americans. You ain't the real Native Americans. You need to get off our planet. Tell them whose world this is. This is our world. This is our planet. This is our. Now, I'll be the first to tell you, I don't know if these kids have Native lineage or not. I also don't give a flying shit. because it's not possible for them to not have it, but it also would depend on the location. Most people from the East Coast, from the top of Maine to Florida, if you have a little bit of native in you and you are also part black, it is more possible for you to have that plus white. So it's more likely that you're like me, you'll be triracial versus biracial. But the pretendians, on the other hand, have taken that shit to a whole nother level, and you kind of just get lost in the sauce. So you kind of have to be very wary of the shit that you're listening to, and especially when you got people that's like up in my age group telling you about you got to know the dirt and some other shit and some other shit and some other shit, you know. And just because someone seems like they know what they're talking about doesn't mean they always know what they're talking about. Which is why I had to put this damn thing in rumor format, just due to the fact that I'm not going to say I'm wrong. I'm just going to say I can be wrong on a few things, but I'm not going to be wrong on everything. Even a dead clock dinged at least once. We should know we have a clock in here that has a battery in it that hasn't been changed in a while, and every now and again, that son bitch will go off, and it will go off a lot. But yeah, you know, when you're on these apps, do yourself a favor. Pay attention. Pay close attention. Because some of these people are just grifters and they're in this shit for the money. And when they start doing this shit and they start asking for money, um, something's up. So be forewarned, something's up. I don't ask you guys for anything on here. I would be grateful if you shared my videos, especially when my Scarlet Spider fan film comes out. I will be grateful for that. I don't ask you guys for money because here's the simple fact. When my career takes off, you'll probably have to pay money to go to the movies to see anything that I do, because this is how the world works. Unless I get like some kind of awesome ass contract with Netflix, it's more likely you're going to have to go to the movies to see anything that I do. Especially, and let's put this into the world, if Disney gives me the job and they let me play the character that I really want to play more than anybody else, which I never thought I'd say this, I would like to play Jesse Blackcrow. And the main reason why I want to play Jesse Blackcrow is because I think I can pull it off. Despite the fact that I'm short, I think that I can pull it off. Because Jesse Blackcrow was pretty tall. Jesse Blackcrow is also a paraplegic. Or a quadriplegic. No, he's a paraplegic. Whichever one means two. Because he's handicapped from the waist down. So I know that I can probably pull it off. I do have some reserves about that, but I'll close this video out with telling you a little bit about Jesse Blackcrow. So Jesse Blackcrow is a Marvel superhero known as Blackcrow. He is a descendant of the actual superhero Blackcrow, who was like a magical, mystical guy. He also had a bow and arrow. Jesse Blackcrow is working for construction in New York. I'm sure they can make it anywhere other than New York, but you know, for the sake of Jesse Blackcrow, for the sake of his story, Jesse is in New York. All right, and he falls off of a freaking yay so many story building. No, and in the events of him falling, he wakes up in the hospital. He doesn't have family to come visit him or any of that shit, but he wakes up in the hospital. And while in the hospital, Jesse is given the bad news. You know, you're never gonna work again. You're never gonna walk again. Among other things, you know, Jesse's got some issues now. The issues weren't bad before, but now the issues are detrimental to his life because he's now crippled. So he's not gonna be able to work anymore, like ever. So they give him the bad news, and Jesse goes home. All right. going home to whatever apartment it is. Jesse is permanently on disability now, and this is why I know I can pull this off. All right. So Jesse, he he's possessed by the ancestor Black Crow. Okay. And Jesse thinks that he's actually dreaming all of this shit that's going on. He literally doesn't know that it's actually him. He thinks he's dreaming all this shit that's going on. And so he's literally out saving people while he's asleep. He's not cognitively aware that it's him. He honestly, truly, the guy believes that it is a dream. And until he like reads the papers and shit, he really thinks it's a dream. So I know I could pull that shit off. My only reserves is I am kind of a little superstitious of wheelchairs because of what happened to Christopher Reeve. But I would love to play that character. But I would also love to play American Eagle. I would also love to play Warpath. And I would also love to play Wyatt Wingfoot, maybe Puma in the next Spider-Man movie. I would love to play some character that is native. No. So, we're going to end it on that note. And hope that you guys enjoy this video. It's an hour long, so I'm sorry. But thank you for watching. I'm Echo Fangray. This is Kung Fu Havoc number 2. Be seeing you.